My name is Kofi Robert Kubu, officer in charge, Elmina Castle. This castle was built by the Portuguese in 1482. They came here in 1471 to trade and spread Christianity. And the system of trade was barter, exchange of goods for goods. They brought tobacco, ammunition, beverages, liquor, and then mirror. They were looking for gold, ivory, then spices, pepper, ginger, and coal.
Hi, I'm standing inside Elmina Castle here, and I just want to draw your attention to something here. This is a condemned cell, if you will, for some of the slaves that they had brought, sometimes from the hinterland and stuff like that, that were fighting for their freedom, didn't understand why they had been captured, didn't understand where they were going, didn't want to go, and so they would keep them here. Now I want to draw your attention to the size of the door here. Literally there will be, I don't know how many people here, but this room would be filled. And this little enclosure that you see here is the only thing, little light and a little oxygen. Very, very difficult situation. If you could see inside, you will get the emotional impact of what I'm talking about here. Now, as I turn here to my left here a little bit, I'm going to show you another door, literally next to each other. Now, this would be for the white European soldiers that for reasons of misbehaving or whatever, that they needed to keep them here for some hours. If you could see inside, you would see the stark difference between these two doors. Look how much oxygen, how much light. And most of these soldiers were required to stay here for a very brief time. And for those that were in this condemned cell, this was just the beginning of the pain, excruciating emotional, spiritual pain they were about to go through. And if you could see the contrast, this is what this building represents, the difference in the attitude, the difference in the treatment. And so this tells the whole story right here. One thing that I'd like you to bear in mind, that these two doors might look similar, but the end result was dramatically different. Those that entered here, mainly the black Africans, for them, this was a complete door that didn't have a round trip. They never came back. They died. They were sent to places they didn't choose. And the other door, though, make no mistake, they were in there for only hours and came out. The doors might be the same color, but the end result is still reverberating right now as we speak. There is something here that I absolutely need to bring your attention to. This is a Portuguese church that they built. The Portuguese that built Elmina Castle built this church. And the difference and the dichotomy, because right here, the first Roman Catholic church built on the west coast, sub-Saharan Africa, right here, very next door would be the slave quarters and the slave prisons, where the women and the men would be screaming. They were literally having worship as these people were struggling and dying. And so that is something that's a poignant reminder of two things going together at the same time. First Roman Catholic Church in sub-Saharan Africa is what you're looking at right now. But very next to them, literally they could hear the screams and the wailing of the prisoners on the other side, the slaves that had been captured and were literally being starved and tortured next door. We're standing right in front of what is the male slave dungeon. This is almost like a transit point. This is literally on their way out here. Mind you, that is if they survived out there. This is where they come. And I'm not going to show you this room. This room has the emotional. You can feel the cries, you can hear the people, but there is a little room here that I think you must see. This is the branding room for the males, where they would have a hot iron and identify them by branding them right into their skin, scorching, meat smelling, as a way of identifying them further down the trade. So this is literally where they are on their way at the end of this room, and you have to see it. If you come to Elmina, you don't see anything. This is a must see in the castle, because this is what we call the point of no return. They're literally, and they're in shackles, tears running down their face, hope is fast dwindling, and that's the room that we're in here, the male slave dungeon. This is touching. We are in what is called the point of no return, and through this little slab, if you want to call it a gate, this is where back in 1480 something, for 300 years back then, they seem to be lapping the walls of the castle. And this is where the last thing, the image they would see of Africa. I mean, this is where they were being finally, literally being sent off to the Americas, the Caribbeans, to Java and all kinds of places. This literally was the point of no return. That's the room we're in right now. I just can't imagine. The floors were not concrete, they were damp, clay, mushy. I can't imagine the stench. This is what the final vision of Africa before they were shipped off.
Oh,